He is one of the best pure athletes I've ever seen. I think Brock Lesnar is the future of this company.
In his first WrestleMania, Brock Lesnar has climbed to the top of the mountain.
UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World.
That if Brock Lesnar got into mixed martial arts right out of college, man, I think he could have been one of the all-time greats. I really do.
Double air! Cover! Hooks the leg! The streak is over.
Brock Lesnar has been one of wrestling's most divisive figures, a powerhouse admired for his dominance yet criticized maybe for his attitude. His latest WWE return started with hype, but is still something that seems like a yet another quick exit followed it, leaving fans frustrated. Yes, fans are fickle, but they're frustrated. Nowadays, the Beast Incarnate faces backlash for his rare appearances, rumored backstage politics, and lawsuit allegations, all of which add to the legend having controversy around him almost all the time. How do you feel about Brock Lesnar? Let us know in the comments below. I'm Kevin Kellum. Hit the like button, subscribe to our channel for more videos just like this. When Brock Lesnar's music hit at SummerSlam 2025, it was supposed to be a thunderclap moment. It certainly got a live reaction and a return that would jolt WWE into buzzworthy chaos. John Cena had just survived a grueling battle against Cody Rhodes and what many thought would be one of his final matches, seeing him drop the WWE Championship back to the American Nightmare. The crowd barely had time to celebrate and process that moment before the familiar roar of Lesnar's entrance filled the stadium. Out stomped Lesnar, shoulders heaving, a picture of raw menace. He stepped into the ring, scooped up John Cena, and flattened him with a thunderous F5. The show ended in shock with the crowd on their feet. While the live audience screamed with excitement, the reaction outside of the arena was a different one. Online, fans weren't completely thrilled with the surprise. They were surprised, but not everyone was on board. They saw a company ignoring scandals. Lesnar's return happened when WWE was still dealing with the fallout that is extensive at this point while we're recording from a serious lawsuit against the former chairman of WWE, Vince McMahon. A former employee has accused McMahon of serious misconduct and exploitation, and her case recently updated to include Lesnar's name. He wasn't a defendant, he's not been accused of anything directly, but the allegations were still uncomfortable to say the least. For most of 2024, Lesnar had quietly disappeared. WWE kind of scrubbed him from promotional materials, edited him out of active highlight reels, and even canceled a planned WrestleMania match between him, reportedly, with Gunther. Behind the scenes, people were told that Lesnar would stay gone until the legal drama was settled. Yet here he is, back in the spotlight less than a year later, and none of it happened. At least it hasn't been completely settled. The backlash was immediate, and hashtags calling for boycotts trended online, and even loyal WWE fans voiced their discontent. The criticism didn't stop wrestling fans. Lesnar continued to be a part of big wrestling storylines. Inside WWE, though, Lesnar's return was reportedly polarizing. Some wrestlers shrugged it off, calling it business as usual, while others, specifically, reportedly, women may have been uncomfortable. Wrestling veteran Lance Storm publicly questioned what the message this move sent to female employees after years of WWE claiming it had cleaned up its culture and had become more inclusive and safer for women. For many, it seemed like the company was willing to risk the move of more bad press just to cash in on Lesnar's undeniable name value. It's also worth noting, and this is not defending Lesnar, in the lawsuit that he is named in, he is not a defendant or accused of any specific crime. Publicly, WWE tried to maybe soften the optics. Triple H, now the head of creative for WWE, said that Lesnar's comeback was tied to John Cena's farewell tour, and that Cena himself had maybe asked for one last match with his old rival. In a way, that explanation makes a lot of sense. They both broke into WWE around the same time in 2002, and they've had a long, ongoing rivalry with big-time matches tied to it. One more on Cena's farewell tour only feels right, but in execution, it didn't exactly feel like the blockbuster moment it should have been because of the real-world baggage. What should have been a celebration of legends clashing one more time instead stirred up some discomfort and debate. Still, WWE pushed forward. Lesnar attacked Cena on a SmackDown a few weeks later, calling him washed up and setting up the stage for WrestlePalooza in Indiana in September. The hype promised an epic encounter, two titans meeting for the final time. What fans got instead was one of the most underwhelming main events in recent history. The match barely lasted 10 minutes. Cena hit Lesnar with everything he had, including 3 attitude adjustments in a row, but Brock kicked out each time. Then Lesnar brutalized Cena with some suplexes and a barrage of F5s before pinning him clean. The reaction was stunned silence, followed by anger. Social media exploded with criticism from fans. They feel WWE was letting a scandalous part-timer humiliate their most beloved veteran during his farewell tour. Certainly feelings on the surface expressed, but not exactly, detailed, articulate analysis. Rumors circulated that Cena had been supposedly the person who was set to win this match before the plan changed at the last minute. But industry journalist, yes, the Wrestling Observer, Big Papa himself, Dave Meltzer, debunked that idea. He reported that Lesnar's victory had been the plan all along. WWE wanted to rebuild Brock as an unstoppable force so that a younger star could eventually defeat him. In theory, it was a classic wrestling psychology applied here, and in practice, fans were tired of maybe that cycle. Yes. After WrestlePalooza, Lesnar vanished yet again. He didn't appear on TV at the next premium live event. WWE teased he might be a part of Survivor Series War Games and later advertised him for WrestleMania 42 coming up in 2026, but nothing materialized. And as we're recording this, we don't know when we're going to see Brock Lesnar again. And maybe that old cycle of he's here, then he's not here, is something that's also wearing thin with some wrestling fans. This beast mode on, beast mode off pattern has been a defining part of Lesnar's presentation in his second act with WWE since 2012 when he returned from the UFC. He's been both a phenomenon of an attraction and a problem. Star power is undeniable. His name alone can sell a lot of tickets, but his part-time schedule has created some resentment and just circumstantial challenges. When he holds a championship, fans complain that the title vanishes with him. When he beats a popular full-time wrestler, it feels like the company is sacrificing the momentum of someone who's there every week for the sake of nostalgia. Over time, Brock Lesnar became less an attraction, he still is, and more of a symbol, maybe, of WWE's questionable habits to even the most casual fan. Leaning on the past, maybe ignoring some frustration and prioritizing the big attraction over the people grinding in the ring all the time. Behind the curtain, Lesnar's reputation hasn't helped. Stories of him being difficult or intimidating. On the main roster, he's had several confrontations with colleagues. The most infamous came after SummerSlam 2016 when he left Randy Orton bloodied with real elbow strikes to the head. Fellow wrestling veteran and WWE locker room leader at the time, Chris Jericho, thinking Lesnar had gone off script, confronted him backstage with production officials around them. It was certainly a tense scene. They nearly came to blows. Years later, Jon Moxley, then known in WWE as Dean Ambrose, shared a story about Lesnar recalling their disappointing WrestleMania 32 match. Moxley said he had many creative ideas for the bout that he wanted to make memorable. Lesnar rejected them all, claiming he didn't want to take any risks. The result was a dull, forgettable match that Moxley described as pulling teeth. Later in 2023, brief 2025 comeback was a perfect metaphor of his entire WWE career. Explosive, controversial, impossible to ignore, and gone too soon. He came, he conquered, and he left behind a trail of debates about whether the spectacle he creates is still worth the chaos that follows with it. What do you think? Let us know in the comments right now. Hit that like button and come back for more videos just like this.